Hi, my name's Vanessa. I am a chef, and I want to kind of give everyone some pantry ingredients and basic things that they should have in their food pantry. We're going to be talking about substitutes that you can use if you don't have certain things in your pantry. So let's talk about some of those things that you're going to need. Obviously, you want to keep things like canned goods like tomatoes and stocks, or like bouillon cubes even perhaps, as a good substitute when you don't have just regular, boxed soups to do with that. But some other things that you can do is just have basic things in your pantry. So let's talk about canned goods. Canned goods could be like your basic beans, other dry goods. If you don't have canned beans, you could do bagged beans that's dried that you can have on hand. But more for convenience, it would be the canned goods, tomatoes, beans, sauces that you might like. And then those are like things that you want to keep on hand. And let's talk about other frozen stuff. So that's pantry, but still, like with frozen stuff, you can kind of keep that in your freezer, so you'll really have that on hand. So I would go with frozen first and then jump to your canned goods, because the frozen products have a little bit more fresher taste. So those things could be like your mixed vegetables, those could be things like your corn, even things like spinach. A lot of those things you can keep, and also that's frozen as opposed to your canned stuff. So they just have a fresher taste than your canned goods, okay? Now let's talk about some ingredient substitutes. So sometimes you're in the kitchen and you don't have certain ingredients, but don't let that stop you from creating something delicious, right? So say for instance, you're making a dish, you need some regular milk to kind of make a dish that you need. That's why I said like having some pantry ingredients on hand is going to be very helpful. So right here, I have evaporated milk. Now evaporated milk is something that you can keep in your pantry. It stays for a while, and it can be a great substitute for things that even has a required taste for, a little bit more creamier texture to it. So evaporated milk can come in, the regular high fat content and even lower reduced fat options. So check out those options and you can have just some evaporated milk in your pantry. And another thing we can talk about, like say for instance, recipe calls for garlic, fresh garlic. We love our fresh garlic, right? Nothing really can be a real substitute for it, but if you want to, have an option where you don't really like a lot of garlic flavor, you could just use like your good old garlic powder, okay? Not as strong as regular garlic, but it's a great substitute just to have on hand is just your powders. And these are really, having just garlic powder on hand is going to be really good substitute just for regular garlic. So go ahead and just make that recipe and use that as a substitute. Another thing I want to talk to you about is like onions, right? A lot of recipes says give me sweet Vidalia onions or just regular yellow onion. If you always have just like red onions, and we always just use these for salads, you can cook with red onions because they do have a sweet taste. And I think what's great about them, they have that beautiful red color when you're making a dish. So red onions can be used as a cooking onion, not just as a salad onion. Thanks for watching. Make sure you check out other classes on Get Set Up.